Hello, one and all. My name is Russ W. Aka Alpi Clam. And today we are celebrating a birthday, not of a person, not of a novelty ice cream cake where you could get a deal on it, a la Fudgy the Whale. No, it's an idea, a country, a thing that you can go to and eat a hot dog in. And the thought of losing this place makes me so sad. Makes me want to cry. So, I stand before you and ask you to celebrate God's greatest gift to us, a country known as America. A beautiful land full of beautiful people, of great teeth and great smiles, where smiles are always up, where hearts are always ablaze, where all of our favorite sports teams like the Edmonton Oilers, and our favorite movies like The Mandalorian and Grogu. We have a special holiday for all these great products that you can buy, called the 4th of July. And I thought, I can't stream because I'm too busy weeping nonstop for America, the greatest country on earth. But I thought I could pre-record something without crying too much. So, everyone, I have written 13 poems. 13 beautiful poems that you can put on in the background as background noise and, enjoy with your family. And just think about what a great country we are as we enjoy 13 poems for the 13 stripes on the one American flag. Here is our first poem. America is a beautiful woman. America is a beautiful woman. Washington State, its brain, filled with Smarties and rain. Oregon, the hair tie, and California, America's long flowing mane. America is a beautiful woman. Texas is like America's rear, where they farmed its bountiful steers, with Oklahoma as its shapely dimple, and people of the Southwest keeping things simple. And yes, our Mexico here is new, but it's just as delicious as the rest of the stew that is our country. America is a beautiful woman. The heartland, like a woman's heart, rarely seen, but I would never part. And Florida, of course, America's stiletto high heel, not for fashion, but to prove they have strong calves that would not kneel. And yes, Georgia is the feet here. Its peaches as soft as a woman's feet's features. And of course, New York is the drape of its dress. When lifted up, its grit and character is sure to impress. So the states come together and form a woman of the spacious land, like a certain canyon inside it, so utterly grand. And true to you, my good friends and mirthful boss man, that's Scott, America is a beautiful woman. This is the second poem, The Greatest Smells in the Greatest Country. America is a nation of smells, just as much as it is about the ringing of Liberty bells. And there are many smells that make me think of a most patriotic kind of stink. Yes, there's the smell of hamburgers on the grill, but I also think of Sam Adams' yeasty swill. And don't get me started on the smell of Detroit's motors, or the sandy smell of New Jersey's famous shorers. America is a place full of amazing scents, but sometimes I worry about our common sense. What happened to neighbors talking through their fence instead of putting up a major defense? Clean and dispense of this foolish nonsense. Sniff the smells of a lawn freshly cut by a child you did recompense. And smile at all the smiles and odors we can share together in a nation with so many smells because of different kinds of weather. All right, number 3. This one's a little testy. Put an angry face on. The Founding Fathers, if they could see America now. I think a lot about what the Founding Fathers would say if they saw America now. George Washington would remark upon everyone's nice teeth. Thomas Jefferson would say the government is being quite the thief. John Hancock would be remarking on how his rebel constitutional writing invented all this cool rap music. And James Madison would be boogie boarding in the Atlantic. And Benjamin Franklin would be remarking on all the ethnicities and their different sized asses. And Thomas Paine would be recording so many podcasts. Don Adams would be going on a rant. Alexander Hamilton would be telling a certain Puerto Rican to make himself scant. And Abe Lincoln, who I know you're thinking wasn't a founding father, well, I'll still bother. He'd look out and say, God bless this country, this USA. This is the next poem, a tribute to Uncle Sam of the Uncles of America. In our nation of red and blue, there is a forgotten few who stand for beliefs and traditions that still remain true. And though the fathers and mothers might forget, it is the uncle who won't forfeit. The uncles of America who come by but a few times a year to keep the cousins in line and bring nephews and nieces some good cheer. And the greatest the greatest uncle of our great country, his name is Uncle Sam, who speaks for God and values, and that's what is up, fam. So never take an uncle for granted, because it's on their shoulders our nation is founded. They're more than guys who can pick a good watermelon. And yes, some of us might be a prior felon. But if you need someone to light a firework, find an uncle in the land they lurk, America. All right, our next poem, Politics or Politricks. And this one's kind of more of a hip-hop one. This is kind of like hip-hop poetry. They say our nation is more and more divided by bullies and braggarts who deprive it of the unity we used to know. The Republic crazies drinking beers that are cheap and clear rather than high and hazy. The wokies and the leftist loons who watch pronoun anime and dismiss others who don't share their silver spoons. I'm done with these politics, or as I call them, politricks. I'm tired of those who form nasty cliques. They leave people out, even really nice guys. They treat them like enemy spies. For example, think of a bossman whose name rhymes with snot, who leaves a certain friend whose name rhymes with Gus to sit in his house and rot. Instead of inviting him to have 7 or 8 beers, he'd rather watch more videos about Dark Souls and prepare for tears. So maybe next time you think of spending all night inside, well up in American pride. Even though this nation is so full of politics, to me, well, they're politricks. This is Gaming in America, our next poem. Being a gamer is no longer legal in America. Once in this nation, we were free. Now we live in a land of tyranny. Our world is electronic, but there are now no more arts. And there's no Activision, all stops, no starts. All the wokies and the Republic crazies say, Ubisoft, while these rich game execs sit in their private fucking lofts. Paid DLC bikinis locked in dungeons with no keys so my eyes cannot see the thingies of sweeties? Sanctimonious preachers say that I can't display affection for ladies and I'm the one with the crazies? Gaming now is a sick joke. Treated like an idiot bloke. Might as well go back to Britain with this smoke. But gaming there is probably just as woke. Dizzy the Egg's probably non-binary. And the only thing rare there is a male protagonist in a video game. And to even call yourself a gamer in America is quite shaming. Who did this? Where are we? How did this happen? Gaming's ruled by the fat cats in Manhattan. Once joyous joysticks ran smooth like satin, now drift like rally car wagons. It's a sick joke. I feel like a prisoner. Because if you were an avid listener, you would know being a gamer is no longer legal in America. Thank you. Our next one here, Love in America. They say there is no love still in America. That's all drilled from the ground, and it's all been genericized, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame having every kind of sound. They say love in America was once red, white, and blue. Now it's a mix of various greens, a distinct variety of pukish hues. And when I turn on my TV to watch the big wrestling match, there's no more psychology anymore, just endless moves and empty, meaningless flash. They say there is no love still in America. You couldn't find it in Walmart or a Target. It seems like everyone's gone, left it behind, or even began to forgot it. We gotta get out there and bring love back. Kick this negativity in the ball sack. Tell the world America's still here for sure. And soon we will be on your shore. I wrote this a year ago. I didn't think, yeah, okay. Anyway, Make limited time sodas available at every store. Make our dance grooves funkier for the dance floor. Make the children want to sing again. Make love in America the thing again. Thank you. An ode to the regional chains of America. From east to west and in between, America has produced some fine cuisine. From all the brotherly pizza in New York to the barbecue of Texas, you want to stick with a fork. But let us not forget the heavenly flavors of regional chains that make Americans savers. To the west, we have our In-N-Out in animal style for me, there's no doubt. What a burger in the southwest, to those with lesser palates like Boss Man's Cat. It does impress. Culver's loaded in butter makes my heart go a-flutter. Bojangles and its fine biscuits and chicken, such flavors on my fingers I will be licking. And don't get me started on Waffle House, where many quietly and try to avoid their spouse. Is it Checkers or Rallies? To me it's all smiles. And White Castle has those little burgers that make people line up for miles. Taco John putting potato discs in their burrito. Beefaroo makes roast beef neato. So many flavors to wallow our mouths around, so the next time your stomach rumbles and makes a sound, think of the regional food chains that sit on America's sacred ground. This one is another crazy one. Hark, restore sanity, or else we need sanity. It's a finite resource. We need clarity in this insane discourse. We need to listen and quiet the noise. We need leaders with wisdom, pride, poise. They say we need soy in our milks and oats in our lattes. They round up people with their violent posses. They force us to learn their virulent lingo while making us watch movies like Eternals with Druig and Kingo, and Sprite and Icarus and Cersei and Ajax. And don't forget about Angelina Jolie as Athena, the warrior priestess with extreme amnesia. Eternals battle their swarm foes, the deviants of course, but grow to learn of a deadlier force. Why, their creator, the celestials of yore, thought to be cosmic guardians but parasites in disguise. They consume sentient creatures, leading to multiple planets' demise. What is Cersei to do with her magic healing? The dilemma just goes and leaves herself seething. Fulfill her purpose or feed the planet to her maker? If you claim you knew what to do, I'd call you a faker. She sets out with friends to solve this ancient woe, before battling with the deviant crow. When all seems settled and fate is determined, Cersei's betrayed by her former lover, Icarus, that vermin. So the Eternals, divided with no way to settle, battle in a CGI field to test Earth's heroes' mettle. And Icarus, in a moment of realization, sacrifices himself to save his one true love's home and betrays the being behind his creation. So yes, America needs to return to sanity. With so much on the television that makes us want to spout profanity, soon we will lose touch with all reality. This is a guest poem written by my Uncle Grant. This is Gen Z is trying to cancel America. Gen Z is trying to cancel America for doing what it does best, being a kick-ass country that has that special zest. So many people won't listen to what's great about this country and every wonderful state. Not my son and his terrible vaping addiction, and how his words at another time would be considered sedition. And don't get me started on my daughter Charlotte, who acts rude and dresses like a total harsh language user. And don't get me started on their boyfriend Kyle, who works for a weed store and looks like a paint-huffing abuser. And don't even get me started on Panera Bread. Who's serving foreign soups in this particular time? Zuppa Toscano? Are you out of your mind? Why no hamburger soup? There's no reason, no rhyme. And movies too, they're way too loud. What happened to Americans who used to be proud? Gen Z is laughing all its way to the bank, and into my couch my butt continues to sink. Thank you, Uncle Grant. And you know what? This one should be a little bit more smiles are up. This is positivity poem. Many are saying my poems are depressing. Friends and family find my nature distressing. The great empire's time is cresting. Market failures and political fallouts from dissident protesting. For me, I wish to say my truth, and maybe it's a little uncouth, but I want to share what makes this country powerful, and not always what makes it potentially sorrowful. Look at the big buildings like the Sears or the Empire State Building. Isn't that something that proves how this country is great? And yeah, they aren't as tall as the Burj Khalifa, but they were made with American grit. That'll teach you. And look at the Great Lakes. Aren't they nice? They were created millions of years ago by big pieces of ice. It's a horrible lie. And the mountains, such lovely formations. Yeah, there are other mountains, but not as nice as our nations. And look at our theme parks, aren't they just fun? Epic Universe looks great under the Florida sun. And SpongeBob's so funny, and so is Popeye. When will Americans stop thinking of such incredible guys? Have you seen a micro bully before? What's up with those things? They look like someone jammed a cantaloupe in a dog puppet and attached some freakish little legs. Sorry, that was from text that just popped up on my screen. I didn't mean to make this part of the scene. I often get distracted and that makes me sad, but God bless America, the only thing that makes me glad. This is if President G came to America. Mr. G, if you're watching, I want you to understand. America is a very complicated land. And though we lack in your country's prodigious infrastructure, our piece of shit cars compared to your state-of-the-art electrics are total clunkers. The food we serve to our kids in school made from animal sphincters, we're still a nation of radical free thinkers. I'm going to take you to a junkyard south side of Chicago. The blue-collar bants will make your mind go blown. Then to a beach resort in Hawaii where the sun always shines. You'll hear American prosperity never declines. Then I'll take you to Hollywood to meet our stars. Check out Tom Holland and Chris Pratt in fancy sports cars. Then I'll take you to Cleveland to a class sports bar to see our amazing athletes go way beyond par. And when your head starts spinning from American excellence, I'll take you to a grocery store so your head really spins. A soda aisle going on for a mile with so many varietals, it'll strike you right in the vitals. And yeah, I'd take you to Williamsburg to see how it all started. Yeah, we never had your country's succulent pork dish, but we had grit, ingenuity, and the ability to deal with any sitch. That's short for situation. So yeah, judge away, think that we're lesser, but understand you caught us under pressure. Because we will rise and strike and destroy time and time again. Once again, I wrote this a year ago. Because when it comes to being epic, we never bend.